Hello friends, today we got a little bit different kind of home improvement video for you, something I don't do a lot of. A good friend, the late Richard May of Oxford, Michigan, was a retired glazer. I worked with him for like 4 years and I know a lot about working with glass. And I've surprised myself how much I remembered of it. It's for a 36-inch wide entry door, steel entry door. You see all the cloudiness in it? That's caused by leaking vacuum between the two panes of glass. It's a sealed insulated unit, but sometimes water will get in there and then you get moisture buildup and crud and all kinds of nasty stuff because it's not a sealed unit any longer. But I found another door in the garbage. You can see it laying over there. It had a real nice glass in it. The unit is 3 pieces, but technically it's only 2 for our purposes because you usually don't separate the glass unit from the outer plastic frame. It's like sealed in there really tight and glued in, so usually you don't separate that. You keep that on one piece. Here's your inner frame. This is what goes in the inside of the house. This has the screw holes in it, and usually there's little trim caps pressed into those holes. You have to carefully pry those out with a tiny point, like a pick point or a very, very tiny screwdriver, and pop those out. Behind these is a Phillips screw. Anywhere from 12 to 14 of them from what I've guessed here and how this works. The windows and the frames kind of go together as a set. You can't necessarily interchange the inner frame that went with this window with the inner frame that went with the other window. Razor edge, razor knife, even a kitchen knife if you're careful, and cut. Press it down between the door and the frame and just draw it across just to break it loose. There's usually not much caulk on the inside. It's usually just stuck from years of being painted. We stand half in and half out. We're going to put our foot behind there, and we're going to get our sharp knife again, and we're going to get it as far in as we can there and draw it all the way down. Put it all the way out to the maximum extended position. Slip it in behind here and push it as far as you can in to get the cutout. And you can see it's not pushing in right now. That's because the screws are attached on the other side. Once those screws are loose, there'll be a lot of give in this. You won't be able to pull it out because the caulk that holds it in is too strong. If you try and pull it out without cutting the caulk, it's probably going to break. So take your time, cut the caulk all the way around, and then gently pull on it, starting at the top, so you can use the bottom as a balance point when it comes loose. And if you see it stretching, some stringers starting to pull out, like say the stringers are stuck on the door and going back, take your knife and just slice those stringers off. The window will tilt back toward you. You can lift it up and set it aside. And then easy to replace, you just put the new one in with the side facing out that doesn't have the screws in it. Hold it with one hand, put the inner frame up, and pressed it gently into place all the way around, and quickly started one screw on each side, so that way we'd know the glass couldn't fall out. And look at that. Isn't that so much nicer than what was in there? I still have to paint the door. The door is still in project, but while I had it apart, I put a new door sweep on the bottom. I replaced all the hinge screws with longer hinge screws to make sure it was in there nice and tight. And now it closes nice and easy, like it never did before. And it looks great too. If I can do it, you can do it. Have a nice day, and bye for now.